Pretty sure it's that way.
That way.
Did it? Which way is it?
Which way? It's that way. Yeah, it's up this way. I'm remembering from me and him over here 2 years ago.
Which way are you going? Okay. And down on Carey Street to the left? Right there?
Next one up. So where you guys just came from, head left, you're supposed to be on the corner of Carey and 9th. So basically we could go this way and come back down here, but there's a whole bunch of signage that said no go.
Trying to get as close as we can.
So we can go this way and make a left or make a right.
Take it with us.
Yeah, we can, if you don't mind.
We've got Ford Fischer here on the camera. Like a journalist.
I know identifiers. Turn it down a bit. Come back to about half. We just get this walking. Check my connection. It should be right here, gentlemen. That's the
That's all right. We got enough.
It was like, mine is so embarrassing. No one would want to mess with me because how would they explain to their friends?
Yeah, somehow this little
It would be so embarrassing. They'd be like, oh my God.
toothpick just don't cut it.
You want to get any video of them first? But we're on.
We won't. We should be able to go there, but won't be able to cross that street.
Oh, he's awesome.
Constitutional carry.
We'll go to the street. Cross there. Go that way. They probably won't let us cross there.
Huh. How far can we go? What is that? I don't know. There's no firearms beyond this point. I don't know which point that is.
Yeah. Is it right here?
I guess it's right there. Yeah, you want to get it?
Where the fence is at?
I don't know. The fence.
They're not gonna let us in.
Yeah, there's one on that light pole too.
So we can go on the street right here. We just can't go on the other side.
You can't go past this sign, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's a point this way, right? It's gonna like,
There's one on that pole, one on that
this
pole,
way?
so.
No one has a point.
I don't know which way it's pointing. So.
a point?
They're not gonna let us on Bank Street. Well, that was one street over. Who's speaking?
how much is a piece? Oh, $5 on the button.
So, with that one, this one.
Got stickers over here.
They're not going to let us on that street, so if we go back to where we came from, we'll be able to see the front of the Capitol.
That's kind of what I want to do.
Okay.
All right. That works. We're gonna go back this way. See if we can see the. Yeah. See.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got to go down that one street and come back up. All right.
Well,
Want to do that?
yeah, let's fall.
All right.
We just touched tips.
We did.
Yeah, right? Oh, one, this is Mobile 2 radio checker.
Martin Luther King Day event.
Exactly. It's not much this grip, but it's other idiots out here.
right, so while they pause, maybe a good time to kind of introduce what's happening here. So, every year, since before, but especially since 2020, Richmond on MLK Day has kind of been an interesting location for political activism. In January of 2020, there was a gigantic, tens of thousands of people doing sort of pro-gun activism at the state capitol here. And in response to the possibility of that, they added at the time, a temporary restriction on carrying firearms at the Capitol grounds. And so people were armed outside and then had to not be armed if they wanted to protest on the Capitol grounds themselves. Following that, over the course of the next couple of years, there have been new gun ordinances, both state law protecting the Capitol itself, but then municipal laws saying that you can't have guns at demonstrations and so forth. So a few different types of laws and ordinances have been passed since then, which kind of restrict somebody's ability to carry firearms here in Richmond, particularly in this particular setting near the state capitol. So protesters, however, have continued to do that year over year. So the following year, 2021, there was a number of groups. There were Boogaloos, Black Panthers, Proud Boys. There's all sorts of different armed groups that kind of converged to do armed activism. Notably, though, the VCDL, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, which organized the original lobby day that brought out that many people in 2020, did not any longer endorse the idea of bringing guns to do that demonstration, essentially because it would be illegal. And so they don't want to advocate for unlawful protests, whereas other groups tend to take the disposition that they don't want to comply, right? So today, so far, what I've filmed is basically a group that seems to be kind of Boogaloo aligned, although they met up with some other people who I don't know which group they kind of organized with. And we'll see kind of who else shows up and kind of what happens. But what I've seen so far is that there's sort of barriers about certain areas where guns shall not pass, and some of them they recognize and some not.
But he reformed. He's doing Olympics now, and he's on the board of Freedom Works. And I got his phone number and stuff. We'll be doing 54 passenger tour buses to DC in the spring. So thanks for being down here. I got to drop these off. This is your this is your Bible for the General Assembly. Okay. Have one. I'd like to get a case, but they got one more case. I'm dropping these off. I'll hold them.
Wow.
Hello, Mr. Fischer.
Hey, Christopher.
Yeah.
You're looking more Texan than Virginia.
Wow.
This is John Denver Country Code.
It's like a different skin in a video game.
That is what outfits are.
I guess so, you're right. But that one is particularly, like, on point.
We were wondering.
Good question. I saw you guys coming up over there, so you know the gun check-in truck is over there.
Yeah.
I think that's the big group.
Well, maybe we'll walk down and see the big group.
Next to the Capitol.
Sounds too much like the government.
Checking my weapon. I feel
Why would I want to check my weapon? There's nothing wrong with it. It looks great.
Man, someone's checking.
You were saying it's teachers up there right now? Yeah. A teachers group up there? Teachers.
I think so.
Maybe if you
So my question is, who actually has a permanent event here? Is it VCDL or is it some other group?
it would sit on.
So we got a permanent event run by VCDL that we can't carry guns at?
Well, technically in the city of Richmond, it's illegal to carry a gun at a permitted protest.
Or an event that should have
So you're telling me I can't use my First and Second Amendment rights at the same time?
Yeah, which sounds like
So
If they
that's like
decide
saying
that this
because
is
I have
a
a Second Amendment right and I practice that, I don't have a Fourth
You don't
Amendment
have a
right?
permit, but this is a protest. You can. It's the vagueness of laws. You don't even know you're breaking them.
Well, I'm not really protesting anything. I'm just walking around. Just taking a stroll. Hang out long enough, people.
yes.
This is actually further than
That's what I just said. We're further than we've gotten.
Congratulations on the marriage. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But it, I think it helped with that sidewalk.
Got SLR and double DSLR.
What? Double D? What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Two DSLRs.
Yeah.
Two DSLRs and one.
Have to. So you got your telephoto,
Right.
your wide angle, and then I got the Leica for intermediate stuff.
That's fun. I'm like 90% video and then I just
I know. I got
Side.
you. I got you, dude.
side
We'll
fun
have our-
thing.
We'll have our preferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot to contact you about this.
Thought the police were about to talk to you. Nope.
Take your holster off.
Other than you're still in your honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. We bought a house though like a year ago, so we've got a dog and Woodbridge.
Okay, so you're out there.
Yeah. Was in DC for the last 10 years, and then
Oh, I'm sorry.
finally now a Virginia man.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Nobody made their recruiting numbers this last year. Yeah. Well, they're hoping to pull in the jab thing back. That's
You're about the ATF.
check this out.
The 300-page pistol.
Yeah,
version.
pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually tried to read. I don't understand. I actually don't understand it.
I haven't read it yet, so I'm gonna probably do that this afterwards.
I found it confusing too. Oh. There we go.
It's probably Capitol Police. How you doing, man?
He's using a spotter scope.
I heard Jafari's supposed to be out here today.
Yeah, he did say that he will be later. I think his march is going to be for reparations. And that was interesting because he said that he's interested to see what other groups he can get to walk around with them, on that subject.
Yeah, he was doing a thing last night. I was waiting on a phone call and I didn't go because I thought it was later in the day. Then it was like, after it was like 30 minutes before, I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how early this was going to start. I had my alarm set.
Oh man,
Signal message.
yeah, I knew this was going to. He saw his 8 o'clock. I've been inside now since I'm now official.
Oh, you got the.
Yeah. So Steve Helper retires, and I got a spot.
Oh, okay. Good.
But as a freelancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
so are you on assignment today?
Yeah, I've been on basically on assignment for
I've got some friends.
Every day except for one, except for Saturday. I've been on.
I don't know if I'd have the guts to go to
Do you live here?
Yeah, I live in Baltimore.
Where? Oh,
I live like an hour and a half away from here.
gotcha.
It's like staying at us. Take a picture.
Should we check out the other side? Yeah.
Drone farm was like
Yeah, did you have a good one? Thanks for going in for us.
Check out which side.
Oh, we got the stickers. We can't fly.
Oh, there's a bat. There's two guys.
Oh.
What?
Some guy came.
Oh, yeah.
I think after a year, they'll probably get it together.
Pharrell did decide to bring back something.
Yeah, that's this year, right?
After that police shooting.
That was last year, right? He moved it to, I think, North
DC.
Yeah, we're probably going to see that supposed to something in the water.
Yeah, I want to see the lineup shirts going through.
I'll tell you, man, I like this 135 over the 7200. It's so much lighter. I don't have to. My back issues don't impact as much.
At this distance, that's kind of like take photos of the patches, kind of like.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
Kind of. That's the deal.
All right, Steel Banner Cafe on that next street.
Go to the right.
Got it.
But about midway up when you park, you see the sign.
So
You'll
9th
see it
Street.
Right here.
All right, cool. All right, check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, I can always love that. Sometimes I'll wrap it up very forward. Sometimes I'll wrap it up very forward, but sometimes I'll just
That's where I think we're not with BCDL, right? Yeah, like the original bank light. We're just trying to figure out where everything is.
I don't know where it comes from.
Oh yeah, people should have people can't go up there. You can't practice your first and second amendment rights on the same time in this country. So it's kind of a shame.
So you could drop this shit forward somewhere. It has
Imagine this thing could search you just because you were practicing your first amendment, you can go fourth anymore. Patch you down because you're tall. You know, doesn't make any sense. Nonsense.
I like to get one at some point just so I can know how to fix it. You know?
Those are your map really map. Yep. As soon as you open your mouth, you search your bottom.
But they made the 80% where you could actually fill out with a press, like your stamp your whole receiver, just pops it together. Make it.
Like I said, it's easy to do. I did it was a diabetic. I did it with a shovel and a handle back in my nose.
Awesome.
The same reason why I didn't have my AR set up here.
You seen that funny video? The guy's like,
Yeah, that's the cop's leg.
weird the last few years. He's like, shit made it very clear to him. We were like, hey, stop that. Hey, stop that. Hey, we don't like that.
Here we are.
Girl on a horse, that's what I'm talking about.
Trying to propose another assault weapons ban that actually expands the definition of assault weapons.
Yeah. What did it say? They got this problem. What did it say? It was, yeah, three choices. It's like 3,000 feet or 3,000 ballot box. So
Mine is in box. I bought a blade. This one,
your last resort is your cartridge box, something like that. You start off at the ballot box. You start off trying to play it, nice. And when it comes down to it, and they just refuse to listen year after year after year. And like, how much more
I'll go with him. Hey, Cody.
Lobby day.
They already got me one.
Oh, yeah. What was that, last year that was?
It's 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
just wish I had January 6th Spider-Man abilities like they do. Some athletic motherfuckers right there.
I was doing the way for 250-yard range off the on this old farm. Everyone had already moved out of it.
How far down are we going?
And I mean, walking farther.
So where's there's a block there?
You do that. How much further are you guys going to go?
I don't know. They're just walking around.
Real free. Warmed up a bit.
Still some fire.
No one told me to stop yet.
Yeah.
What's on? You can walk
I
out
usually do every year.
Why not?
Let's walk on. Let's walk on.
I don't see any permanent bad going on. Forgiveness.
That's facts.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll tell us if we've gone too far. Wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm coming.
Haven't you?
Trying, man. Here in shorts. The sun's not bad. That's not bad. Gotta leave it running.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I thought they
This dude's wearing shorts. He's bold.
one guy that bugged out.
Oh, shorts. Taco.
Yeah.
Farthest we made it, dude.
Sorry?
Farthest we made it in a while.
Yeah, I guess so. I was surprised.
Put me on the knees. I will say, put me on the knees.
Yeah. Right in front of the Capitol. We get pictures. You can chill on these steps. I kind of want to hear these guys too.
You surprised you made it this far?
I am very surprised.
Yeah.
Farthest we made it in 2 years. Everyone seems relaxed.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is that what you think? All right, so they actually kind of on the street directly adjacent to the Capitol. In the past 2 years, people with firearms have not been able to get to this point. And there were signs saying that they kind of couldn't, but they just walked by the police and, gave each other thumbs up and that kind of thing. And the cops just sort of let them walk by without saying that there was any issue. So we'll see what happens. But they are now adjacent to the Capitol, the Virginia State Capitol.
Yeah.
I thought about painting. I saw someone here has a painted one.
Oh, drop it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, you
I do want a pattern. We're supposed to do it in the summertime. It dries cool. I tried to winter, it was a disaster.
You excited to be here?
Oh yeah. I've been waiting for this all year, man.
But I think I'm going to split it up with more so in the summer. It looks like the amount of inside.
Do we know when the teacher rally stops and the VCDL starts?
1100 is the rally at the bell tower.
Oh, okay. Where's that at? Here?
Yeah.
The thing it was dinging.
and you put it on there. Like we use a piece of, some use burlap, some use a laundry bag. A laundry bag of net, and then some use old dead leaves to get that tiger effect. Let that shit dry.
Thanks, brother. You want some?
I'm here. I'm incognito support.
You're concealed.
Am I?
Not really, no. You stand like this, not radio on the program.
Are you an honor or some kind of
the hair stands out.
How you been, man?
Good.
You didn't bring your old lady with you?
No, unfortunately, she is at home with the dog.
You just stay home and watch the dog.
Yeah, that's exactly. We got a beagle.
All right. This is the closest we got in like 2 years. I'm happy.
No, I know.
They stopped they stopped this right here.
I'm surprised that this is happening here right now.
Yeah, this is the first time they've ignored the law where you can't walk in Capitol Square. So that was good. Oh yeah. Maybe a slight sign of
So this will suggest to me that not everybody, not even police don't agree with this. I think it's stupid.
Revealing founder's cousin or whatever. He got tased.
But it was on the north, though. You couldn't get this close. They had a stand over there.
So they're trying to say it's like
no further than that. We got right here to call the squad on it. What was that? The squad that strike for the strike team on us.
The other angles?
I was like, really?
Because the year 2021.
They did a whole thing with that, testing it out. Crowder did one where he did the exact same maneuver.
You remember that one police that always gives a hard time? I've seen him yet.
The older gentleman.
First time, he always gets a shit.
Said he was old.
He's like middle aged, but every time we get put,
it takes a lot to hear
every fucking time. Like every time we come up here, he was always just giving us up.
Well, that's why we teach the blood choke. Yeah. It's quicker to blood choke in the body.
Like this?
Yeah. Shit, even years ago when I went through MCT, we had one of our instructors came up to a guy who was talking shit. We had an armory cleaning weapons. He just hit him like this on both his carotid arteries. He was like, what? Yeah, just that split second of interruption of blood flow. He went out, man.
We were watching.
I think the big thing though was because he was high on fentanyl at the time, because he just popped, he just found all this stuff.
You could see him put it in his mouth.
And they found it on the floor, like with his DNA on his saliva. That was just not a match made in heaven.
2019 to radio check. He's like, we want to fly. He's like, you see nobody here now.
This antenna sucks.
Those guys were saying that there's
Swap your
down there,
my antenna onto yours.
so they're scared.
If we go back and then come back down, I'll just throw my blade on. Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Because it went out?
People are scared. They're hanging out
Hey, Daddy.
Yo. I think there's some people down there at the ECDL check-in truck about 2 blocks that way. We should really meet up with them and get some people down here. That's what I'm saying.
We leave, they might not let us back in.
Yeah.
So, tell them that
I think a couple of us would go
that split off or something.
2 or 3. I don't think any of these state troopers have any ill will towards us. It's not like we're out here causing problems or nothing.
They just hate standing around.
Yeah, they're like, go home so we can go home.
They want to sit in that cruiser and give out speed to us.
They're probably getting overtime.
That's true.
Plus
It's a
holiday
holiday pay. These guys probably love us. No problem.
Instagram. That's a joke. Yeah, they kick everybody off.
No, hey, how you doing? What's up? Very good. Fire department, I like it. You ever notice there aren't any songs called F the Fire Department? There's none. None. Everybody loves fire department. That's the saber dog. It's like, oh, the building's
that
on
was a
fire. There's
wave
dog
on the
inside.
pool.
I'm gonna go get it. ATF's like, building's on fire? There's a dog inside?
It feels good to actually feel like you're covering ground for once. Not moving backwards.
You're seeing progress here?
Yes.
By being able to do this?
Yes.
What do you think about the other groups? It sounds like there's other people who are kind of nervous to get this far.
I think it's silly that they're checking their guns in a truck.
Probably, Johnny, we probably head that way and head back.
Hopefully, spread the word to unity or to liberty groups that are here. The police are seeming to be friendly as of now. Last year, they wouldn't let us up here with flags, guns, whatever. Real problem. Said 11 at the tower.
You flipped pencil there. I have that paper. Yeah, we were here in 2021. Wait for those guys. They're coming down there. They could walk all the way up there. I think I get a body armor sponsorship for hungover people at protests.
Two types of body armor.
Oh. Because the sponsors charge on someone got into a confrontation. Then the defense got shut down. Yeah, it was further away. Yeah, favorite of Fat Boys and that's where they head back out. Just have like they didn't even show a gun. It just said it's on the guy. Okay, let's go to my face on the radio. I was like shots fired like yeah, I was like I would have been my family. Nope. But yeah, that morning too, we all got frozen out.
So I think
it's teachers, some kind of educators. So on their day off, they come here. When I was a teacher, sitting at home, playing Call of Duty.
They gotta advocate for themselves too. No one else is gonna do it, just like us.
It's true. I mean, if it's done with like I got a budget.
There's 3 reasons.
July.
Hey.
Amen to that.
This is the farthest they've gotten in a couple of years.
Third grade?
They walked by the police, they were just like, have a warm day. Okay. Here we are. I would more or less situation is there are other groups that are apparently nervous coming up.
It's for traffic.
So that is why they're here.
You can't ram shit.
Police seem to send people down.
There was another group of guys down there next to a food.
Oh, was it the VCDL truck?
It was just a pickup truck with it said food pantry or something.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't see what
I think
I
somebody's
saw a
doing
3%er patch. That's all I saw as I drove by. But
Apparently, the VCDL has a place you can turn in your guns so that you can come in.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
So
no, that's our same reaction too. they're advocating for gun registration and confiscation.
Right, you just have to hand them your firearm and the serial number.
Yeah,
that's
and attach your name to it.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of folks. I can't emphasize enough how much the police don't care. What is happening?
They're standing over there with their backs to. Is this still construction going on?
Like, particular group? A couple of them. Some of us. Virginia going.
What's that?
I like to stick there. Don't say a lot.
Oh, I was just. Of course. I was going to say, I feel like they had that at some level.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess so.
We both have our roles.
Exactly.
Are you photographing or participating? What is your...
Well, I was originally coming here to photograph, and I left my camera at home. So now I'm kind of...
I forgot my
Hopefully you're usually good things
I'm not
are
even...
said.
I'm not telling guns in the state that I live.
Gotcha.
I like guns, so...
Gotcha.
But it's also kind of nice because like, I know that this particular rally is bringing any political ideas.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
political
yeah.
ideas aren't really the traditional like pro-gun ideology.
Just a week of fun things.
Pander to both sides.
Before I get to the criticizing
Is there stuff actually going on inside?
Regular session starts at noon. There's no committees right now. There is a press conference for, I believe, immigrant rights stuff. 10:30. But in terms of inside, yeah.
Right.
And, oh man, they closed down the cafe. They're doing a whole bunch of renovations. They're building a giant tunnel over there, and that's supposed to be their regular building, but they're in this much smaller, old dumpy hotel. So they're not setting their best.
Is the children's hospital sign new? I don't remember that being in the sight line. Like,
I think it was obstruction.
Oh, it was okay.
Because they were working on the building right there. Because you see right in front of the steeple, that building was doing some heavy renovations.
Oh, okay. So I've just never seen it before.
Something about living in a town that's 400 years old.
Right.
Well, I don't know. You live in D.C. They do that too.
I mean, the Capitol hasn't looked like just like the normal Capitol in a long time. And not because of J6. I mean, just like...
Yeah, just because
they're always just
stuff is
building,
old.
fixing... Yeah.
I don't think I have a single photo of the Capitol built. Like, whenever I've like gone there just as a tourist, like, or something, like, just to enjoy and like take photos or whatever. And like, I don't think I have a single photo that doesn't have scaffolding everywhere. That goes back to like 2006. Like, I was looking at some old photos and I'm like,
That's the whole point of
For a long time, it was like that with the Washington Monument as well.
Well, after the earthquake.
The earthquake, right. Well, I began college right after the earthquake. So, like, I began my DC experience with everything just having been...
I just forget how young you are. Pains me for it.
Yeah.
Pains me.
Have you ever seen Monument Mythos? It's a YouTube analog horror series.
Okay.
It's an alternative universe where there's monsters in all the statues.
Okay.
I love that.
So the first episode is Liberty Lurker, where they talk about the monster that lives in the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, okay,
How
right.
it was designed in the 19th century. Just sort of like move.
The trance put it there?
But the one at the Capitol, Freedom on top of the Capitol, like the entire backstory on like how it's actually just like a statue warrior in life. It's really great.
Yeah. Looks like some more folks rolling in.
I just wrote it down, so yeah. I got a friend who was like, that is like right up his alley too. So
One of those things, why are you keep...
like trying to get into something on all my drives that isn't
Whether what's right or wrong is right.
It's not
going to save anything. It's about it.
I'm with Nerd Photo. It's a photo service.
Looking at states where guns are illegal.
Country code.
Stop
No. Neither of them. Do you have any more of those? I would like more, yes. If possible. Thank you.
Nice to see all this open.
Yeah. Big difference. Oh, good morning. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We don't love that. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. For me.
They asked me.
Like mouth, that shit's gonna help.
Yeah, and I'm like,
totally comes down to
I just, when I get in close, I usually ask a question, so.
Make sure you get that serious.
Well, I mean, how else am I going to register?
Exactly. You're going to register Cody's gun?
I'm with the VCDL. I'm registering everyone's
I'm
gun.
pretty sure I'm already registered.
Not gonna lie, yeah, the first half.
Well, there's a difference between being registered and being on a list.
several different.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're all on the list now.
Join the club.
Have you ever? Well, yeah, to yourself. That's always your big question. Secondary location, or you think?
I'd be embarrassed if I wasn't on some.
That was always my thing about the FBI. Where just like, what if they don't have anything on me? I'd be embarrassed.
Well,
I feel like a life unlived.
You know that.
See, if I ever get like really ill, like dying on my deathbed, I'm gonna request that. Like, can I see a file? And if there isn't one, I'm like super upset.
My friend Emily got her FOIA. It was hundreds of pages.
Yeah, it would be.
But like the reason why it was hundreds of pages is because there was like a 300 report. And
Nope,
like,
place
per
standard
name
size.
section in there.
What's your FOIA?
They wouldn't even take my Twitter down.
It goes medium to large for this particular
Yeah.
It'll make a small version.
If the watch list is classified, is classified as not.
Yeah. Zap points are
Well, like,
no, these are
Somebody may have just asked you, so I apologize, but do you feel like identifying yourself?
yep.
Sasquatch.
And they're this is swimmer cut, so
Yeah, I ask everybody.
absolute movement.
Yeah, I just think I'm more like this.
Yeah. He's got the thicker cover bun, which I don't have. Mine's just a stretchy just to get it around. But he would be able to put side plates on. I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, they are. I did that once.
Yeah, they are. You have to get the.
I believe it. I've done several different interviews.
I'm
with
sure.
the Washington Post and stuff. That's what they get. Oh yeah, so yeah, I know.
They'll have an archive, I'm sure.
I know Hannah.
Then you got,
Okay, I'm a freelancer here today, so I don't necessarily know if it's
Then you're gonna add,
up there.
yeah, you're
Greg and Laura are coming at some point tonight.
Hannah's supposed to be here at some
When I
point.
was in the Army, I was probably 205, and I clocked in.
It's a long day.
You know,
Yeah,
hey, I
there's a lot of weight. Then you got to run it.
Richmond Independent. That's what I was thinking. Like, man, I want to talk to somebody.
Ceramic?
If they wanted to say
You're good, just one shot.
give a
That's all
visual
you do.
description
Yeah,
of
you
how
can
much
tell
they're
what
covered
you
and why they came.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, your back's gonna hate
Dressed up
this.
nice.
The problem with I had the problem with steel plates was just the idea of if it hit, it comes up.
You have to get the coating on it where it does. Yeah. It can't be straight steel.
I do have some steel plates on. That was my first place.
That's not the goal, though.
All right.
Then I got a hybrid.
To the radio listeners, can you tell them what you're wearing and your matter of attire?
I have one a proud militia violent extremist patch.
I like a Norfolk.
Because I am.
It's kind of like a hybrid.
This is where we need to be.
Got a med kit here, got some extra trinkets.
I was super
Got a full
That'd be kind of
airbag
nice.
vest, in case anything bad happens in the car.
I mean, yes, that is
Shit happens. So I mean, I have ways to make holes, plug holes, radio, got a bump helmet,
Which is unfortunate because, like,
I'm diabetic, so I have glucose pills.
I was gonna say,
Just chilling.
And just say the name you want to be identified as.
Sasquatch. That's what everybody knows.
but it's also still such a smaller form about that. Chances
My name
are-
is
But
Sasquatch.
even then, like,
Thanks.
Yeah.
if you get hit anywhere else,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw some of your stuff before.
I try to just represent what's
I got you,
in
man.
the raw.
Yeah. I got you.
So you're embracing the label on
Yes.
this patch, the militia violent extremist.
Yes, I had these made specifically for today.
I just got in.
And he's got one 20 minutes ago.
What? So, do you want to talk about what was the motivation to make that patch?
Because if that's what they want to call me.
Called us violent militia extremists. That's how they label us. Even though I'm just a regular guy, got a regular job, I don't cause problems, not a criminal. But apparently, because I want to practice my Second Amendment right, that makes me a violent militia extremist. Not allowed to have a voice, not allowed to go up on Capitol grounds, not allowed to meet with my assemblymen, just because I'm practicing the same rights that our founding fathers fought for. So,
My views are
kind of a
little
shame,
more,
but I can't say I'm surprised.
What were you going to say?
Awesome.
My
Thank you.
my views are a little more extreme on the issue. We have been doing this for many years now. I got involved with the militia movement in 2019, and since then we have had to come out and come out and come out and come out and tell them that we don't want any gun control laws, specifically ones that make the majority of Americans felons. It's not just a militia right to carry guns. It's right, whatever. You know, if you're allowed to pass, if you can pass a background check, you know what I mean. You get a gun. It's your right to be able to defend yourself, especially in communities that have high crime. You know, they need to protect themselves too. And the people trying to pass this legislation don't really think about them at all, even though they claim to represent them. So, what would Frederick Douglass say? You know, you have the soapbox, your ballot box, and your cartridge box, and we are rapidly approaching the bloodiest day since the Civil War if they continue doing so. That's the raw stuff. I'm not scared to say it.
He was a Baptist minister, civil rights activist movement in the United States. Played a key role in the civil rights movement in the mid-1950s. But today we are out here talking about in honor of MLK. We're actually talking about H.R. 40. H.R. 40, which was first introduced in 1989, would establish a commission to study the impact of slavery, discrimination on African Americans, and develop a program for reparations. The bill is based on the idea that the United States has a moral responsibility to address the harm caused by slavery and discrimination.
And what was the other one?
Reparations could be the way to do that.
Thank you.
The commission would be tasked with studying the impact
she was like,
of slavery and discrimination on descendants of slaves.
No, like, we can go away.
Economic, social disadvantages that they have faced. It would also study the impact of discrimination on marginalized communities such as Native Americans and Mexican Americans.
That's the women in this.
Opponents of H.R. 40 argue that reparations
Where is she?
She had to work.
Need more females.
You've got a Let's Go Brandon mag.
She's got a couple of them. Equitable society for justice for all. We at BLMRVA have already started down the path of training what reparations would look like. And via raffles, and we have even offered low-cost we today would like to
Oh wow, a few different prints there.
February to honor MLK, but those who came before and after. We would honor those who have fought.
That's how I met Easy to listen for that same exact thing, right? When I met y'all like 2 years ago. Welcome to the soul.
Yeah, that's how Robert was over there. He came up past me and I was walking up here 2021 and I was like, who you with? He was like, nobody. I was like, come on, I don't even know you. I just pulled up, put my kid on. Come on. Come on. We don't do that.
Please continue to watch BLMRVA.com and at BLMRVA on Instagram. But let's not negate the accountability with H.R. 40 and the Congress and the United States level. Let's also talk to Governor Youngkin and state senators and state delegates to propose Virginia's own version of H.R. 40 through VCU. Let's be the trailblazers that the rest of the union.
So to the people watching, if you kind of hear the press conference going on, it's actually just one person speaking into a live stream, kind of as a digital press conference there. And so the kind of rest of these folks have basically just been kind of standing in place. They're in a spot that they have not made it to in 2 years, sort of dressed like this. So it's sort of interesting in that sense, just because the police have usually enforced local ordinances preventing them from getting this far. And so now that they've made it here, they're kind of not giving up the spot. But the police have barely, interacted with them at all.
Yeah, they have the Wi-Fi, and then it gets sent to their computer, and that guy's doing the editing and the caption for the photos.
Yeah, you need the second person because
Olympics.
We've got SnapBridge that'll work with an icon, and you can get the stuff over there. I haven't used it yet. I know it's there.
Yeah, I mean, but like there's other scale of like on the scale of like all the wires. How are you guys?
But it's the second person to write the captions.
I thought they weren't letting anybody up here, but it's just beyond that. Oh, thank you. Okay. I thought they weren't letting anybody up here. You can go.
My toes already know.
Under 1 inch. And so they got like so far like not too expensive, right? They have them off the site
Yeah,
I remember
You've got MAGA, the African flag, the Republican flag, BLM.
We vote
It's like
Republican because they support gun rights.
That's a lot
Otherwise,
of
we're
people.
both very progressive.
That's a lot of people.
People might. I'm wondering whether my viewers are going to be surprised to see like that particular assortment of patches and stuff.
I mean, most people think that that we align ourselves in one specific way. It's like, no.
Yeah, they say
gun rights are for everybody, dude.
They keep trying to say that we're a bunch of far-right extremists.
These are just khakis from Walmart.
I can't tell you, we did an interview with Rice, and they asked us how many of y'all were supporting Bernie before like they started trying to pass all these gun laws and stuff like that. And like 90% of us raised our hands.
90% of you supported Bernie?
A lot of them did, yeah.
Really?
The only reason why they wouldn't do it is because of the gun rights. At the same time, I do understand, I may not associate with most politicians, a lot of them can catch the guillotine and all I care, but a lot of politicians, you gotta thank Trump when he said, drain the swamp. He is right, but we'd have nobody left. We'd have nobody left.
I mean, I'd like to see a lot more like welfare policies and stuff like that, but the only problem with that is, I just can't vote Democrat anymore.
There's a lot of people like that. I got a good buddy of mine for a long time. There was you met Aaron. He was a really good dude. He was a Bernie bro, full through and through. But afterwards, he just kind of cut it because like he couldn't say nice.
Head down that way.
Not anymore.
You want to go that way? Very, very, very good.
When's child? No matter what we're doing.
That's like almost
We're at about 10:30 right now. 11 o'clock's rally at the bell tower. You want to go over there?
I kind of want to test my luck.
I don't want to do that.
It's the worst they can say, no. Just as on. No, he's in Ohio.
Kids are thinking we're changing their lives right now. They're thinking about it.
I want to be
Join us, brother.
I want to be just like them when I grow up.
You too can be here.
It's taking a while. 50 minutes to sleep.
That's why I got my shirt.
Don't break any laws. Be a good little noodle. Grow up just
All
as
that
retarded
driving,
as I
I was
am.
like, I was about to say, fuck it, I don't want to go. Weapons no more. I said, have a pistol, I'm good. Damn, it's a contact Scooter. The Scooter lives, she's in Ukraine.
She's stateside right now.
It dawned on me. I was like, Last I remember, she was covering the Ukraine.
Yeah, she did a couple trips there. She saw some shit. I mean, it was brave.
She's Ukrainian, right?
Sorry, she is Ukrainian. Yeah. So it was
hit a little bit like damn.
A little extra personal for her. Yeah.
Because I was following her, but that's before they kicked all of us off Twitter.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They kicked all the asses off.
Remember that cold chill last year from the wind? That shit.
She does have YouTube also, though. So, I mean, a little less personal, but, like, you can see the stuff.
Yeah, she saw some pretty gnarly shit.
She got, like, the first shots, basically, like, of the war. Like, Feb 24th is the day we think of as the beginning of the war. Like, she's got, like, like, she's filming over the shoulder as, like, Ukrainians are, like, popping shots, like, you know, like doing, like, little volleys, like, testing the waters, like, the days before that. This intense shit, I mean, it's scary stuff.
People fighting for their homeland.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I always said they should go and just go right to Russia and do the same thing doing to like, hey, you're gonna mess up my country, you're gonna mess up yours. I was like, I don't know why you just want to do it. Just go to Russia and like start messing up their shit. You're gonna mess up this shit. It's gonna cost you money and years to fix. This is just a prime example why other countries need to invest in the military. They don't invest. They invest in everything else but the military. Because a good offense, you need a good defense.
Yeah, they were training up at the end.
So it's like you're trying to vamp up your offense, what about your defense?
Yeah, they were like clearing out police stations and handing out shit. Yeah.
It's like, hey, we need. Can we get this? Can you send us this? Like, see, you gotta increase your military because it's really your defense that's gonna save you. That's kind of what most older countries are seeing. They really don't build up the military. So it's like when they get into war, like, oh shit, we don't have this. We need this. Well,
I'm not really like an expert, but I feel like that's kind of like why Russia like underestimated them. Is like because like on paper it was a small military, and I think they underestimated their ability to like mobilize just like normal people into participating.
I haven't seen them face to face, but it could be them trying to create discourse.
Southwest or Southeast?
Southwest newspaper.
Not Southwest.
I didn't hear that.
Who are you looking for?
No, just in general.
We all focus on that.
Gotcha.
It's the thing I worry about is me personally. And then that, like, I said, watch that guy. Yeah, the focus isn't where I thought it was. You're watching it on like us movie screen. But on Instagram, you know, Instagram or on the phone. I still think it's funny when he tries to do that fucking thirst trap shit. You see how he tries to make himself look all right? I mean, like I was playing Hey,
yeah, he's taking our picture. Let's pose. Yeah, right there. Come back.
Where'd he go?
He's leaving. Where are you going? You didn't get all of us. If you're gonna take a picture, might as well pose for it.
Because, well, that's the only shot I have to just get and they want to see the picture ready set. But I have gotten other, I looked at stuff I did before, I have pretty much here. But even that honestly wasn't my issue. The issue was, I knew a little bit about what I was doing, and so the guy.
I'm gonna stand right in front of the wall.
No. I don't cover that.
I was good for
He's back home now.
I thought he came back.
He may have.
I have his, yeah, I saw on his Instagram. It didn't have his.
I texted him and said they let us in the school.
as a reminder to the folks watching here, basically this group is farther than they've been able to get. There have been sort of a series of local ordinances and state law that prevent the carrying of firearms near this building, the state capitol. However, as you can see, they are here anyway. In years past, since the passing of these ordinances, basically the police have kind of prevented them from getting this close. This time, they were able to sort of just move by, and the police didn't seem to enforce it. So at this point, you know, it's very thing which on move. But at least in theory, they're in violation of like state law and local ordinances, and it's just kind of a matter of like, will the police enforce it? And the answer so far just seems to sort of be no. So we will see what happens. But for the most part, they've been kind of just standing around talking now that they're here. It's worth noting that one of the local ordinances actually pertains to the ability to carry guns at a protest that has a permit or should have a permit. And so there actually is sort of a legal standard attached to whether they're just sort of standing there or whether what they're doing constitutes a protest. So again, my understanding is they're going to be kind of on the move sort of soon, but we'll see what happens.
You know what I mean, George
You can tell.
And that's why the rank thing is, that's why the rank it shows like a militancy. You know what I mean? Like an organization. Just be aware of that. There's no reason for everybody else to know. Other than that. Like, if you have like kind of a hierarchical thing, keep it. What's that? We all have. We wouldn't be out here right now.
We all have it now.
But that's all right. You know what? Some of us, they can't dox us, right? I mean, they can't. What can they do? You know, all they can do is keep pushing, and then eventually this is back.
I understand the air. But I'm not stood here like 2 years.
Yeah, watch out, man.
Right there in the head of that.
Yeah, I'm still in. I'm in the reserve. Army.
Oh yeah, it's got off.
What's that?
You just got out?
Yeah.
I was in the Marine Corps Reserve until they COVID shot.
Yeah. No, I get it. My kid's in right now. He's up at Fort Drum. He had to take it. So I'm like, I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fight it. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in people, if they don't want to take it, they shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? It's just that simple.
It's fully discretionary.
Yeah, it's a free country. You don't want to take it. You don't want to take it. You shouldn't have fun with it.
Check this out. So I was in the reserves, and during the whole shutdown, and I know they have
talking about?
Come here, babe. That's my wife, y'all. Believe it or not, my wife comes out here with me.
You see my Let's Go Brandon? Just for better listen?
Yeah.
Having a romantic day out here.
Yeah. I got into guns real big years ago because it actually saved my life. I had someone try to kill me. They slit my throat with a box cutter in my own home before me and her were together, some crazy girl. And by the grace of God, my 380 in my closet saved my life and helped me get out of there. Ever since then, these have been a comfort blanket for me. And my kids understand. We got 5 kids. They understand the seriousness of them and stay away from them. But we also take them shooting to show them how to, you know,
Use it like any other tool.
and also get the curiosity out of them so they don't feel like they have to go behind our back.
How do you feel about kind of the way that gun laws have evolved over the last couple of years? It seems like it's really changed since 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of unnecessary bans coming up, a lot of unnecessary, you know, politics that they're putting into all these laws. And realistically, I mean, all the money we waste in other stuff, why not put in the task force for the illegal guns on the street versus trying to harass all these people that are going out here the legal way? I got a concealed carry permit. I bought all my stuff legally. You know, I keep my house safe and I keep my kids safe away from them. So, I don't know, it's just unnecessary to me. You know, you don't see them out here looking for the illegal guns, though. You don't see them out here putting together investigations for those. I had a gun stolen from my house when I was 18. Of course, I had to be reported stolen to the police. I never found that gun. They never found that gun. They never got that gun back from me. They didn't even look for it.
Right.
They're just like, oh, if we come across it, we come across it. But they'll sit here and try to make laws and come to legal gun owners' homes, you know. Yeah. Like 10 degrees warmer.
Thawing out?
Yeah. Plus they love getting pictures of us. Yeah, as soon as you step around that, big difference.
I feel like the cops and the armed folks are sort of like boys and girls in a middle school dance. like starting separate from each other, but like kind of creeping over to see if who wants to dance.
If any of y'all go to use the picture of us, we go by Bonnie and Clyde for our code name, so y'all can use that if y'all want.
Bonnie and Clyde. There you go.
We actually I have it tattooed on my finger.
No shit.
I have Bonnie. Some of it's worn off now, but I have Bonnie on my finger. We work with our hands though, so a lot of it's worn off.
Plus it hurts.
I could never do that, man.
I bet it would.
I got a finger tattoo.
I've had mine done
ripped off
2
in a
times.
heartbeat.
I've had mine done
3
3
times.
times.
I've got like 33 tattoos. It's the only one I've ever cried on. 33? Yeah. At least try. Good.
I would tear
Right
that
here.
shit. I'd be scared because all the nasty crap where I work at, man, getting in there and getting it infected.
Well, see, I do contracting, so what I did is when I went to work, I would wrap it up with like cling wrap.
Yeah.
I put ointment on it and would cling wrap it, and then when I get home, I'd unwrap it and let it breathe. Cause I do paint and flooring and all that, so I had to make sure all that stuff didn't get in it. Yeah, definitely.
Get out of the road, guys. This is still an open roadway.
Oh, is it really going?
Hey, off the sidewalk. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
So that was like the only real interaction I've seen between you guys.
saying good morning. I mean,
Yeah, other than good morning, stay warm, and that kind of thing. Yeah. How have you felt so far about how the police have been today?
pretty laid back.
Yeah,
It would be
really.
better if they actually were doing, following the Constitution. But
Every time I came out to Richmond, it's been pretty chill.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The cops, like, on the way up here, I was holding an energy drink in my phone. He was like, can you shoot with all that in your hand? I was like, I'd just drop it and shoot if I had to. Prioritize.
Priorities. Energy, phone, life.
Yeah.
Liberty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So good, man. Fucking just get your hands back up in there, man.
Morning.
Oh, I like it.
Normal things with families. We got people and we have things that we need to defend. And if our state government's not going to let us do that, that's just too bad. Because this is bigger than any state or federal government. I mean, if you wanted to pass gun laws, you can go ahead and change the Constitution. That's where it starts. It doesn't start here. You can call the Convention of States together and repeal the Second Amendment, replace it with whatever you want. But until you do that, all gun control laws are null and void, as far as I'm concerned.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think that's about it. Anyone else got anything good?
That's it. I appreciate it. Daddy.
What did you say? What channel are you on?
Oh, I'm locally I'm with ABCA. In Hampton Roads, I also work for Wavy.
Okay.
We've got a couple others. WFXR in Roanoke. I'm a bureau reporter, so
Awesome.
I'm here every day.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you guys.
All right, nice meeting you too.
Well, I
Have a
appreciate
good
your
day.
style. You keep us some Air Force Ones.
Definitely. Oh, you see all this stuff? I'm not wearing any heels.
Yeah, she can.
It's not a long time ago. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
It's anything cool over there, Ford?
Yeah. It just occurred to me, only two of you still doing the thing. What happened with the Hawaiian?
Everybody out there and twist things on like this slop. The plaid.
How have you seen kind of the movement change, like in the last few years?
People aren't as active as they used to be.
Mm.
I try to let them know that I'm always here, I'm not going anywhere. I think they know. They said the BCDL is somebody speaking at 11. By the bell tower.
Wow, Sasquatch made it. Okay, so this one over, they're doing it over here?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they said the bell tower at 11.
Right over there. Okay, that's coming up, yeah. You can't cut them there.
So the thing they keep saying that they're going to go to is that.
Yeah.
What time is it now?
It's 10:50.
We've got 10 minutes to get everyone to walk there. We'll see if it happens. So my understanding is that the VCDL, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, is going to have a thing at 11, which is just shy of 10 minutes from now, that some of these folks were saying that they were going to head on over to. So we will see. But I definitely want to stick with filming the kind of armed folks wherever it is that they actually go, because it is interesting. Given that basically they're not supposed to actually, or I shouldn't say supposed to, but the local ordinances say that you're not allowed to be armed here. So we shall see what happens.
Hey, you gotta walk. Yeah. Over here, it's so yeah. I said y'all should come over here and warm up. You can't go on the sidewalk. But I guess that's
Get those done. Have a good one.
6-year-old. I'm sorry. I was 6 years old. I might have flipped my dad's gun is fine.
Are you going to the VCDL's thing?
I was wondering exactly if they're speaking there, or I know we can't cut through there.
It's like I knew where my dad's alcohol was and I didn't drink it.
I would like to hear whoever's speaking.
Those are obviously non-law-abiding felonies.
What about some of these girls that were locked up weapons and we already do that. Right, but obviously some people don't.
I mean, that's called a lack of common sense. We've let natural selection, take its course for a long time. Those people obviously have very little brain pattern. You know what I mean? We're just breeding each other. This is my kid. I played all the video games when I was growing up, and I don't have that issue.
That goes to the fundamentals of holding a weapon. You lock it up. Especially with children around. It'd be a different story if you're by yourself. If you're by yourself, hey, have at it. Have one there, have one there. But if you got little kids around, that's
Is your idea that if you can't go through there, that you
Yeah, that was
all the way
probably
around?
what I
that
was
child
gonna
can't
do.
get it.
Hey, do y'all want to try to get on that other side to hear whoever's
truck?
We're walking to the food truck.
I'm gonna try and catch you up.
Out here?
I guess I think they're speaking towards the bell tower.
Oh, they're over there?
Yeah. But
Okay.
obviously we can't go through there.
I see. So we gotta go around anyway.
Yeah, we gotta go around.
That's like organized.
Yeah. They're kind of the biggest grassroots gun rights
It's like herding kittens. I'm sorry, bro.
Sorry?
I said it's like herding kittens. Getting us all to.
What is all right, well, I'm going to go to see what the rally is. I guess you all have to stay out here.
Yeah, we gotta go all the way around.
All right, thank you.
There better be some sun over there.
There better be some food over there.
Have a good day, y'all.
All right, y'all good. All right, y'all good. You too.
I want some food. You got my bag, just got my Gatorade.
They keep y'all out?
No.
You want to hear who's speaking?
That's all you got to say?
I don't know. Well, can we walk through that way?
No.
Because we can't.
We're going that way.
We
to the
can.
food truck.
Now, if you want more,
Ah! See, I tried to get your attention. They did by the VCD also.
Hey, you got some bucks queuing up over there.
Well, it's alright. Everybody can read it while I walk.
yeah, that's what we're going around.
I'm not bending down with
So
all
we
this
could-
on
we
the
can't
ground.
go through
Sticker.
there. Because we're armed, I guess. That's the only thing that sucks about the video.
Yeah, it's going.
Just send you a link.
But see,
Zone.
Look at this.
So from here, it's you shall not pass.
Vicious anti-freedom guys wearing masks and carrying firearms.
Violent militia extremists.
Yes. Oh, he's a
violent militia extremist.
Violent militia extremist.
Yep, that's what the government
How
calls
dare
us.
y'all come out in the public here?
I know.
Oh my God, they have those scary rifles.
Unless the other guys call and contact and decide, it'll be 2 o'clock. No problem, buddy.
Anybody know
we'll see
who's
you then.
speaking?
Bye.
I'm not sure. You want a sticker?
How dare you force that on me?
I think there's a couple of them.
Give me all that. Throw your
That's
trash
it.
away too?
I sure do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man.
Just take one. There's a couple right there.
Oh, I thought you were giving me all.
I mean, you can have all of them. I'm just passing them out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what the VCDL guy gave me.
I'm sure y'all see more people.
Northam ain't here anymore. We should be able to go in.
I'll give you back here.
Amen to that.
Can't cover my hand right now.
There is a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
That's like right there.
What's your name?
Where's my security?
Oh.
I want to say it's going that way. I'm not from around here. That way.
Yeah,
I
that's
said
good.
there's a good one block that way.
Yep, that's we're looking at it.
Oh yeah, well they were shaking it.
I'm walking.
If you get any super cool pictures, send them to me.
What is that, live?
I'm the one that called you earlier.
Best caliber.
Oh, really?
What's that?
41, man.
41?
Yep.
No joke.
No joking. Dead serious.
I believe it.
Not pulling
You
it
got
down
any spares?
To show you, yeah.
Well, you gotta have extra ammo.
Always.
Share.
Never
It's
lose
news the number 2 share, one word.
Okay.
Yep. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
I appreciate it.
You were there. Were you there at
just in one mag?
There you
the
go.
police department, Nipper News?
41 mag.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That was interesting.
$10 if you want to buy it for paperweight.
No, I'm good. I got plenty of paperweights.
But
That's I have my Ford. It's just like his.
I'm gonna go up
That's
and in for a
Polish?
bit. So, are you guys planning to stick like here so you can?
We can't go in there.
Right.
They won't let us.
Okay.
We'll be in this general
anti-freedom.
vicinity.
I'll see you around.
Later, man.
All right. So, those folks, for them, the kind of line was they didn't try to go up and into the actual Capitol grounds. So, we are now going to take a look at the pro-gun rally that doesn't have guns at it.
Stuff down in the city of Winchester. Winchester got rid of those two things. We want to restore our ability to carry here in the General Assembly at state agencies. Now, really, the ABC is a sensitive government location? I don't think so, nor is DMV. We want to have constitutional carry. Think about that, yeah. So you legally have a gun that you bought. You bought a gun legally. You are allowed, you can have that gun because you're not a criminal. And as long as you're not wearing a coat, you can walk around with that gun, no problem. But as soon as you put on a coat, that's when the world changes. Now you got to have training. Now you got to pay a fee. Now you've got to make this application. The whole bit. That's crazy just because you put a coat on. And that's all it boils down to. It's the same person, same gun, same everything, but you put a coat on, and now they want to make you jump through hoops. And those hoops can take 45 days. And if somebody's in an emergency situation, maybe an ex-spouse has threatened somebody and they need a gun now, they can open carry it, but that's not the best solution. So we've got some bills to do that. We've been trying this for years. We're going to keep doing it. There are 25 states that have done this. Half of America has this. And little old Virginia's sitting here, have not passed it yet. And finally, we definitely want to get rid of the red flag law.
Yes.
It was struck down in New York of all places. And we're seeing the laws getting struck down in New Jersey and California. And if the General Assembly doesn't cooperate, we'll be striking them down in the courts here like we've already started. These things are going to go away, guys. But the reason they struck it down in New York was because they said there's no mental health person involved. Somebody comes up and says, well, I think that person is suicidal. Well, okay, well, who are you? How do you know that that's the case? But they take your guns away based upon basically hearsay. No experts involved. Virginia's the same way. So the whole thing is unconstitutional. So we have so we've got a busy agenda. I appreciate you guys being here. We have a host of speakers. I'm going to let the legislators go first because they have to get back over to the General Assembly for caucus and then get ready for the floor session. So first I've got in line would be Delegate John McGuire. John has a 100% voting record. He carries tough bills on guns. He doesn't shy away from them. And I thought it'd be very appropriate to have him lead the day off.
Thank you very much, Bill. Let's give Philip Van Cleve and the VCL a round of applause. I got to tell you, there are a lot of pro-gun organizations out there that protect our Second Amendment, but I don't think anyone does more in Virginia than a VCDL. And I hope that you guys are members, and I hope you get your friends to members to join, because gun owners vote. Let's give them a round of applause. Hey, I'm John McGuire. I've been in the House of Delegates since 2018, and I'm very honored to have a 100 score every year with the VCDL. I don't know what part of shall not be infringed our friends on the other side don't understand. It's our God-given right to protect ourselves, our family, and our children. I've carried some really good bills in the past, but until we get the Republican control of the state Senate, they're not going to pass. We've got to do that. I'm actually running for state Senate now so that we can un-California Virginia. Over the one-party rule, under one-party rule in Virginia, they tried to out-California with these red flag laws and infringements on our civil liberties. And so I'm working really hard against that. I've got a couple of bills that you guys may have heard of. A few years ago, I put in a bill called Sovereign Immunity. And it basically says that if you get shot in a gun-free zone, you can sue the government. I got letters from all 50 states saying that's the best gun bill they've ever heard of, because we all know there is no such thing as a gun-free zone, and evil does exist. And it's our God-given right to protect ourselves and our family. And I think these gun-free zones are really an effort to make us helpless victims. You know, we're living in a time where we have open borders, and we have enough fentanyl coming over the borders to kill every American. And we want to defund and demean our police and put criminals back on the street. And then when they commit the same crime again, you hear people saying, oh, I didn't think they would commit that same crime again. What did you think would happen? And I heard a 911 call the other day where a woman's boyfriend who had a history of assaulting her was banging down the door, and she called 911, and the dispatcher said, hide in the bathroom. We have no one to send. What do you guys think of that? Now listen, I'm much better with a rifle than giving a speech, but I gave a speech on the floor one day when we had Democrat rule, and I said, Madam Speaker, at the time, if a bad guy broke into your home tonight with a gun to kill you and your children, you'd be glad you had a gun. And if a bad guy broke into your home tonight to kill you and your children and you didn't have a gun, you'd wish you had a gun. So it's our God-given right. And I got to tell you, I keep hearing people say we need gun control, gun control. Well, criminals don't care about the law. And you look at Chicago, where they have the strictest gun laws in the nation, and they have the most gun violence. And it's an evil heart situation. We have mental health for sure, but it's an evil heart. Evil does exist. And you look in London, a few years ago, the mayor tried to outlaw knives. So I'm Delegate John McGuire. I'm running for State Senate District 10. It's Hanover, Louisa, Goochland, Powhatan, Amelia, Fluvanna, Cumberland, Buckingham, Appomattox, and a little bit of Prince Edward. So I hope you guys will vote for the Frogman, the Navy SEAL, and let's protect our Second Amendment rights. Thank you for being here today. God bless
you. Okay, so speaking about legislators that have a 100% voting record and carry some tough gun bills, the next speaker is Senator Amanda Chase.
All right.
Good afternoon, Virginia. It's an honor to be here. And if you remember, just 2 years ago, we stood in this very place, only about 50 to 80,000 people, depending on whether you're watching the legacy media or reporting the truth. How many people were actually here? And it was such an honor to be here and to speak at that event. So many of you are here. Raise your hand if you were actually here 2 years ago. Absolutely. And you know, that's thanks to the good leadership of President Philip Van Cleve and Pat Webb and the entire VCDL volunteer community. We are so forever ever grateful. Yes, I do have 100% VCDL score lifetime, and I can't believe it, but I've actually been in the state Senate for 8 years. I've voted against every single measure that would take away a law-abiding citizen's ability to protect themselves. I've voted against it every single time. And even, you know, it's so important that you have legislators that are not just Republicans, but who truly live by and support the Second Amendment. Yes. Many of you all know I carry. I carry if I'm going to the gym. I carry wherever I'm going. And, you know, I really want to dispel this fallacy, this lie that suburban women want gun control, because that is a lie. I am a suburban woman from Chesterfield County, and I do support my ability as a mother to protect my family from criminals that don't care what happens on July 1 and what gun control goes into place, because they're not going to follow it. I'm all against gun violence. But friends, if we would equip law-abiding citizens with a basic fundamental right that's God-given, put in our Constitution, then we wouldn't have many of the crimes that we have today. And I just want to walk us through history for just a moment. If you remember, in 2020, in January, is the very first election in which the Democrat trifecta controlled the state of Virginia. And what was the first thing they went after? They went after our gun rights. And then after they went after our gun rights and restricted and implemented, by the way, the localities, giving them the ability to create gun-free zones, which I'm introducing legislation again this year to repeal it. Because we do not need to turn law-abiding citizens into criminals, into felons, because of the patchwork of confusing legislation, which if you're somebody like me who ran statewide and had to keep up with an ordinance, when you're just driving in the course of a couple days, you could end up violating all these laws unintentionally and becoming a criminal, you just simply by carrying. Listen, we want to do our best to create an environment in which law-abiding citizens feel safe, which, you know, is also why I am introducing a bill to repeal red flag laws, which, it's un-American. When do you repeal, when do we deny due process in America? You know, I don't think it's right for a government agency to take away my ability to protect myself, and I haven't even been seen by a magistrate or a judge. We see this in other countries, but not America. Well, guess what? I have a Republican running against me that actually, thanks to his support of red flag laws, passed red flag laws here in Virginia. So it's not important that you just vote for a Republican, but you find a Republican that actually fully supports. Not only do I have a 100% rating with VCDL 8 years in a row, an A rating with the NRA, but friends, I pack every single day. And that's why I understand the legislation and how it affects suburban moms, suburban dads, anywhere you belong. You know, go back to my story here when I told you the first thing they did is they came after our Second Amendment rights. Who's the second group of people they came after? Our law enforcement. They wanted law enforcement to quit. They wanted to eliminate qualified immunity. And what do you think these law enforcement officers did? We barely pay them what they're worth. And they're like, I can't financially support a liability here. Should I be caught in the line of duty and stripped of my ability to provide for my family? And we had a lot of law enforcement to quit. So they're taking away your guns, taking away your ability to protect yourself, taking away law enforcement. And what does that make us all? They want us to become what?
Victims.
Do we want to be victims?
No.
No. So let's fast forward. The people rise up. Even people who are not politically involved or active got involved in politics like they've never seen before. That's why we saw the huge rally back in 2020. Because whenever you take a person's fundamental right to protect themselves, it's the very next step, then you have socialism. Because if they can take your guns, then they can take every other constitutional right that you have. And that's why it's so important. It's not just about hunting. It's not just about an exercise. This is about protecting your most basic, fundamental, constitutionally protected right against terrorists, not only just foreign, but domestic. Remember? Domestic. That's why we need the Second Amendment. We've got to protect it. The good news is Governor Youngkin won, and so we took back the governor's mansion. We took back the lieutenant governor, the attorney general. We won back the House. We went from being in reverse to being in neutral. And in order to win again and to go in forward and become Virginia again, we must keep the House, but now we also have to win back the Senate of Virginia. That's what we have to do. But we can't win back the Senate with just any Republican. We need Republicans that actually live, think, and breathe the Second Amendment. God bless you, everyone. And I have a petition here. If you live in Chesterfield, if you live in Colonial Heights, come see me. I'm trying to get my name on the ballot because I need 250 signatures. Come see us over here by the flags, and you can sign the petition to get my name on the ballot because we're going to make Virginia great again. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, she talks the talk but walks the walk. So the next up is Delegate Tim Anderson from the Virginia Beach area, who's been a pro-gun as well and hosting bills and voting rights. So, Tim?
Thank you so much. Hey, good news. I'm a lawyer, and I get paid by the hour, so I'm not going to talk very long because Phil hasn't paid me anything to be here. Hey, I wanted to help bring some perspective of what's going to happen in this General Assembly. You know, we've heard from the Virginia Senate that they're the brick wall, right? We've heard that. We saw them kill a lot of legislative priorities last year from Republicans. But what you're going to see this year, the Democrats have dropped a lot of anti-Second Amendment bills. And what you're going to see is this Republican majority in the House stand up to that and kill that in our public safety committees. And so that's a big thing. You're not going to see repeals of all of the laws that have offended us that the Democrats passed in 2020 and 2021 because while we can get them out of our House, they will die in the Senate. But you will see us standing up and stopping more progressive gun control. And at the end of this session, what this session is going to be judged on is not necessarily what we passed, but what we stopped. And it shows you where they want to go, what they want to do. In UVA, where the guy shot his classmates with a handgun in a gun-free zone, the president calls for a semi-automatic rifle ban, right? And so it's this political agenda that we're going to stand up to and stop. And that's when I'm glad to be here and be a part of this team. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Tim. Next is we've got several cases of this in the General Assembly where a person was part of Lobby Day and said, you know what, I can do that too. I can go over and be a legislator. And we've got several cases of that. And one is coming up right now who's extremely pro-gun and is a freshman, but came out swinging. And that's A.C. Cardozo.
Hey guys, I'm going to keep it brief because I'm going to keep it brief because we have some gun control bills to kill. Yep. I'm on the public safety committee that my colleague just talked about in the firearms committee, and I am glad to have killed many of the bills last year, and I'm going to do the same this year to make sure that this crazy gun control that they're trying to push does not move forward in Virginia. All right. Like my colleagues have said, we have to get back the Senate because, like she said, we're in neutral. We're not moving forward. We're stopping from going back, but we're not moving forward. And if we take this Senate, we can move forward and we can get Virginia back to the Virginia that we all know and love, where we can carry everywhere without worrying about, am I going to be a felon because I went from Hampton to Newport News or from Richmond to Northern Virginia. And that is ridiculous that we have to worry about that. All right? So, guys, I love you guys, and I want to thank you guys because I wouldn't be here without you. I was a VCDL member. I am still, but I was a VCDL member. I went to a gun show. I signed up. I got a ticket to go in faster, and then I got an email that said, "Hey, you need to come out to your local city council and speak on this issue." And I spoke, and they ignored me, and I got mad, so I ran, and now I'm killing their bills on the and you need to do the same thing, okay? So I appreciate you guys. I love you. We're going to go kill some bills right now. Thank you.
Yeah, you chant death to gun control bills. Next up, if you live in the Richmond area and you've ever listened to WRVA, that's the powerhouse station, AM station. They also have an FM version, 1140 AM. In the afternoons, you've heard Jeff Katz. And Jeff really understands liberty and freedom. He understands gun rights. He's a strong advocate, a powerful voice on WRVA, reaching out through Central Virginia. And Jeff is here, and I'm going to have Jeff come up and say some words to you.
Thank you, Phil. It's wonderful to be here. It's always wonderful to be here on Lobby Day. And I've got to tell you, as I'm listening to AC and I'm listening to some of the other folks I know inside the legislature, the reality is exactly what they said. It's about our majority in the House of Delegates stopping some absolutely insane new ideas to disarm the populace. That's what is going to happen in the House of Delegates right now. It's also one of the reasons it's so vital as we head into an election year for both the Senate and the House of Delegates that we elect people who understand what's going on, who have actually read the Constitution, who actually understand that the Second Amendment is not negotiable. This is not something that's given to you one day and taken back another. Those of us who understand true constitutional rights understand these are rights bestowed upon us by God, not the government. It is not the government who gives them, and certainly not the government that takes them away at that point. And so those of us who care about constitutional rights have to remember something. We can't just care about one of those pesky rights. We've got to be concerned with all of them. And we need to reach out to people, quite frankly, who don't own guns, who don't know anything about guns, and frankly have made a decision they don't want a gun in their house. Now, that's their decision to make. We have to respect it, even if we disagree with it. But we have to let them know that it's every one of those rights. If they are passionate about that First Amendment, then they have to stand with everybody in VCDL on the Second Amendment. And you and I, as we're passionate about this amendment and that amendment, have to put them all together. And we've got to understand it is about all of these constitutional rights. Stand tall, be strong, and make sure as we head into this year, as I say, we've got to have majorities in both the House of Delegates and the state Senate so that some of the craziness that happened a couple of years ago, and some of us were here 2-3 years ago where we were behind fencing and we were off to the side and it was unbelievable. We have to make sure that we can roll back some of that insanity. The best that we're going to do right now is to blunt some of the new craziness, which is okay, but it's not great. We got to take steps in the upcoming year to get majorities in both those houses. Thanks so much for being here.
Okay, well, VCDL has partnered up for years with Gun Owners of America. In our early days, when we were a fledgling organization back in 1995, we shared, we used some of the machinery to do photocopying and stuff. The GOA, they gave us some guidance as to how to do this and how to get moving forward. And so today we have John Crump from the Gun Owners of America to speak for them. And John also is a journalist. and has your own
I do a lot.
page. He does all kinds of stuff. John Crump.
As Phil said, my name is John Crump. You might know me from my articles at Amaland, my YouTube channel, or my work at GOA. You might not know me. One thing I want you to know about me is that it is my goal in life to make it hell for everyone that wants to infringe on your constitutional right to bear arms, no matter if they're a politician or they're the FBI, Chuck Schumer, or even the wannabe tyrants here in Richmond, some of them. I want to make their life a living hell if they want to infringe on your God-given, constitutionally protected right to bear arms. Notice I didn't say Second Amendment, because the Second Amendment does not grant us anything. The Second Amendment is part of the Bill of Rights, which is a document of negative liberties. What I mean about that is that it is not giving you rights. It is taking away rights from the government to infringe on your rights. And I think that is lost. There's a lot of good bills that are coming up in this session that we can vote for. We've been on the defensive for so long, but now it might be time to go on a little bit of offense. I'm not saying drop defense at all, because we always have to be ever vigilant, but there's good bills. There's the constitutional carry bill. Right now, half the country has constitutional carry. Florida might be the 26th state to have constitutional carry. And I would want to see Virginia err on the side of freedom and liberty. There's also bills to restore preemption. Right now, Virginians are exposed to a legal minefield of anti-gun zones. They're not gun-free zones, because criminals always have guns, but they're anti-gun zones. Also, right now, Democrats have the majority in the Senate, but that might change soon. But Democrats might not be the roadblock. The roadblock might be Republicans that think that they have the base. There's something called the lesser of two evils fallacy. It says that I'm not as bad as the other person, so therefore I'm going to get the votes of my base. We have to get rid of that. If a Republican goes anti-gun, we have to primary them. If you can't find someone to primary them, you primary them. Right now, 2 years ago, we had thousands of people take to the streets to push back against anti-gun bills. And I think we need to do that ourselves again. Not every Republican is totally anti-gun or totally pro-gun. Who here likes Jason Meiers?
Yeah.
Well, you might like him, but do you know that he is defending universal background checks vigorously? There's a lawsuit against universal background checks. He could enter into a consent agreement with GOA and VCDL, and universal background checks could be gone overnight. But he has chosen not to do that. He could at least stop defending universal background checks, but he is defending them. I need everyone here to call Jason Meiers and tell him to stop defending universal background checks, stop taking away your rights, because the right to private transfer is a God-given right. Our right to bear arms is a God-given right. We are here in the land, the homeland of George Washington, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, George Mason, and they would be so proud of us for taking the steps needed to fight back against all these anti-gun laws. Once again, my name is John Crump. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, always keep in the fight, and most of all, remember, Sic Semper Tyrannis. Thank you.
Yeah, we had to drag John all the way down from Northern Virginia. So, next, VCDL has recognized for a while that it's important that we reach as far out as we can. You know, we've always been open to all races, all creeds. We don't care, as long as you're an American and you want to carry a gun for peaceful reasons. We're fine with that. We don't care. We never have cared. But we know one place it's missing. We're finally getting more females. And looking at the crowd here, we see a lot more women here. This is wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. And working to try and get more minorities involved. If I was a minority, I certainly would want to be involved based on the history of the United States, you know. Well, we're getting those, but we're trying to step up. But we're also trying to step up with young adults that are in college now and need to understand what their rights are, and it's tough. We've all been that age, and you know, or maybe you're starting a family and you're young or whatever. But so we have created something called VCDLU, VCDL University, and the goal of that will be to reach out to students at universities for a whole host of things, to teach them about gun rights, to teach them, get them to go to a shooting range, to learn firearm safety, all of that stuff. So we have Al Evans here, who is heading up the effort of being the one that does the interfacing with the students, sets up the agenda and so forth. So Al's going to speak to you a little bit about VCDL University.
Hey, thank you guys. How are we doing today? It's a great day to be out here, right? Yeah. Awesome. So I am, like Phil was saying, my name is Al Evans. I am a native Richmonder. Grew up right here. Went to Thomas Jefferson High School, Virginia Union University. And I'm the new director of VCDL University, for student engagement. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm right here from Richmond. My whole family has basically been from the 804 area since pretty much, since off the boat. But when I first learned how to use a gun, I was 9 years old. I have an uncle out in Charles City County, just about an hour east from here, named my Uncle Junior. He has a range in his backyard, and I used to go every summer, and I used to go and shoot with my Uncle Junior. Most kids my age, especially living in Richmond, Virginia today, they don't have people like that to guide, to teach you how to use a firearm, to take you to the range, even if they have a range in their own at their house. They don't have that. So how do we actually get students to be involved? How do we get them to say, yes, the Second Amendment is something that's important. Gun rights are important. Well, we actually have to have instructors teach kids from a young age, high school and college, hey, guns are okay. Let's go to the range. When I was in high school, we had a program called JROTC. It was, basically it was affiliated with the military. You go there, you gotta, you dress up, you have to do drills and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's basically trying to prepare you for the military. We had a marksmanship team. We would go all around the state and we would actually compete against other ROTCs and other, just other groups as well. Who is the best shooter? If we're in the ROTC, it's got to be us. We can't lose to just a civilian team, right? But even with that instructor, his name was Jim Harding, and he's passed now, RIP, but he was a great instructor, and he really showed us the discipline and the organization that honestly is just missing from a lot of public schools nowadays. But programs like ROTC are getting phased out. That's not at my high school anymore. So if we have a group of people who have never held a gun, have never experienced shooting, have never gone hunting, never even shot like a BB gun, and on top of that, you've got the entire culture telling you, oh, this is bad. The Second Amendment. I remember in 2020 when I was here, back then when we had the huge rally, people were telling me I'm a white supremacist because I want to go to a gun rally. And this is what is going on out in the culture. They're segmenting us into these different groups, and we'll say, hey, if you're over here, if you're black, you cannot support guns. If you're white, then you're a terrorist. We need to get away from all of this. Yep. And the way that we do that is first getting towards the students. I believe that children are the future. Treat them well, let them lead the way. But what are we doing right now? We're not. And so we cannot expect different results if we continue to do the same thing. So with VCDLU, what we're planning is 4 main areas that we're trying to focus on. We're focused on legislative internships so that young people can understand how the legislative process happens, so we can get them in the office with legislators, and we can create young activists and lobbyists so that we can have a new generation, for a lobby day, let's say 10 years from now. It goes to civic education as well. the Constitution and civics in general is something that there is a severe a lack of education on. Even if you have a good civics teacher, a lot of the times the stuff that you're allowed to teach now isn't necessarily what the Constitution actually says. So we're going to be providing that. We're also going to be doing voter contact is extremely important, because how do we actually get the laws to change? We have to vote. Most people aren't aware, even gun owners aren't aware of some of the laws that have been passed. And unless we actually let them know, then again, what do we expect to happen? If people don't know that the laws have been changed and then you get arrested, that's when you find out. So we need to let them know before that happens, so they can vote and vote in the correct people with the right ideas. And then the last part, which I think is vital, is the actual marksmanship competition. We want to have young people be able to compete, to be able to shoot, to have that space to shoot. We're going to be working with colleges, high schools all across the Commonwealth. So if you have any groups that would be interested in working with us, please reach out to me or VCDLU, VCDL/VCALU, to reach out to us. And I want to thank you all again for coming. And I hope to see all of you again soon. And gun owners vote. Thank you all. God bless America. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so one of our executive members ended up moving all the way to Idaho, but he's back. so well, not permanently. He's just visiting for this. He came to Virginia for Lobby Day. And if you live in Tidewater, and you did the gun shows or anything like that, you'd be familiar. Brendan Mooney is the member. He came up here just to help out any way we needed, so he came all the way from Idaho. Brendan?
Hey guys, it feels great being back in beautiful Virginia. I will say one thing. I had no moose in the way when I was coming here, so I don't know how to react. I mean, the traffic was actual cars, so it was a little different. But hey, I want to say that why do I still come back? This is important, not only on a national level, a statewide level, a local level. You know, I still come here and do business here periodically, and I don't want to have to worry about my gun rights or all of our gun rights being strangely, oh, you can't carry this here, can't carry that there. I'm like, no, I'm going to carry where I need to, because I need to carry and defend my life. And what you see out in Idaho versus here is it's part of the culture there. They say, take away gun rights. Are you out of your mind? Like, how are they going to defend against a grizzly bear? Well, okay, that's valid. But that's the big thing about here is we need to make sure, because a lot of people look to Virginia to make sure that we maintain hold of our rights here. Because if Virginia falls, then a lot of people are just trying to do that. It's all we're up a river. There's no point in fighting. We'll shoot it out. It's like, no, you can still get to the courts. We have means to do so. We have ability to actually get good gun laws passed. We just heard from some good people that want to get some stuff through. I'm all about it. Let's get it done. I mean, if this became constitutional carry, by the way, constitutional carry in Idaho, blood in the streets everywhere, all over, no. You can actually in some areas you can carry, if you have an enhanced concealed carry permit, you can carry in a school. And look, there's no harm, no foul. And that's the great thing. We have good sheriffs. So by the way, if you live in a county that has a sheriff, I think everyone does, make sure you elect a good sheriff, okay? Because if God forbid something were to pass, sheriffs are the main line to say, you know what, I don't think so today. I think I'm going to have to deputize some of these guys, all right? So really want to emphasize, get involved. If I can fly out here to Idaho and y'all can weather this, get your other friends to come out. Because I want this to be filled up next time I'm out here, because I will be out here. So, hey, I want to say thank y'all. Hey, let's get some good stuff done this year legislatively.
Okay, and next, another strong supporter of gun rights, and somebody that's running for office, and would be, and thoroughly understands the subject and is an excellent speaker, Leon Benjamin. Yeah.
bless everyone, and I want to thank Philip Van Cleve and Pat Webb and all the VCDL patrons and citizens. You know, this is the hour where we really understand how guns save lives. And you need to shout it out real loud today so that the Capitol and the General Assembly and everybody needs to understand if we legislate out our Second Amendment, then we have no more protection over our families, over our children, our communities. And again, I'm Leon Benjamin. I'm running for Congress in a special election because of the passing away of Don McEachin in the 4th Congressional District. And I am persuaded right now that my opponent does not want to save lives. They do not want to protect families. And they do not want to put the money back in our pockets. And we have an opportunity right now, and I talk to a lot of people, that the laws that are being passed, red flag laws, Virginia should be a constitutional carry state. Do you agree? All of these things. I'm a pastor of 20 years. Let me backtrack. I've been married 31 years, and I love women's rights. But understand, I have 3 beautiful kids. My son is right there. So we do need to teach our children about our rights and our laws. It's important. Now I'm going to say this, and I want you to understand, because I'm seeing everything's happening right now today. And as you know, this is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. If he was here today, he'd be 94 years old, and he would be right in the middle of VCDL. He would be right here, bringing everyone together. This is not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. This is a God and country and family and guns thing. And we got to get back to the right track and allow ourselves to be a family again, a community again that does not marginalize our communities. Blacks over there, whites over there, crazy people over there. I mean, whatever. We got to come together, unite, and transcend party lines. This is what my race is all about. February 21st, and trust me, right now, this community right now, Richmond on down to Emporia, needs VCDL to educate us. We need that university. I've taken my son gun shooting. The first time he shot, he like, oh! I said, that's right. That's right. And you need to be responsible before you pull it out. You need to know what it's for. And it's about protecting our families. I have a daycare here of 12 years, lots of kids from all across Richmond. And they need to be protected. These no gun zone laws, all these things. The only thing sometimes that can stop a criminal with a gun, a bad guy with a gun, is a good guy with a gun. That's right. So I'm asking, and I see a lot of people out here, so I should at least have 300 volunteers. But seriously, I really need your help. I need your prayers. This is going to be a short election, and my opponent doesn't have a clue what is needed in this district to protect the families. This is one of the major components right here. This right here, our Second Amendment. And as a pastor of 21 years, when the First Amendment goes, the only thing that can bring it back is the Second Amendment. So we are here. And I'm asking for your prayers. And I'm also asking for your money. See, I'm a good politician, right? Okay. But pray for us, because this is the chance to make this district transcend party lines and bring all people together, unite us as one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not some people, not the elite, not a few, but for all people. This is our opportunity. Let's send a message right now to Virginia and say not just a red wave for the Republican Party or a blue wave, but red with the blood of Jesus. It's time to bring our values back home again, and this is our opportunity. Are you with me? I said, are you with me, Virginia? VCDL. Let's pray to do. They got to get rid of these red flag laws and all this universal background checks and all this stuff trying to take away our rights to defend ourselves. We must pray for them. GOA and everyone else that is standing for our rights. Now, when I go to D.C., remember me. And you'll have access to me whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter. Independent, because it's not about the people. My opponent won't even debate me because they think in debate is about the candidates. Debating is about the voters. They need to know where you stand and what issues so they can intelligently make a decision on election day. Here we are. Now, I can go on and on and on. But let's right now pray that VCDL will be in every single home, not just in Virginia, but across these United States of America. Let's believe that every citizen should know their rights to defend themselves and to protect themselves against foreign and domestic. I was in the military and I served. Any military people out here, by the way? Military veterans? God bless you. I served in the Gulf Wars. I served in Desert Shield, Desert Storm on the John F. Kennedy. And I'm telling you, I didn't care what color you were, as long as they knew how to use that weapon. I wasn't worrying about what color you were. I wasn't worrying about what race, or all that kind of crazy stuff. We got to get back to being human again. Human. We are mud huts that God put his spirit in to show forth his glory in the earth. So I'm going to blow the spirit back out to you, because if some of y'all are dead, it's time to come alive again. Come alive to your rights. Come alive to what is owed to you, what is due to you. So, Father, I thank you for Philip. I thank you, Lord, for VCDL. Have your way. Allow us as congressmen, as Senate or House, whatever politician, allow us to care about the people again. We thank you. It's in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. In Jesus' name. God bless you all. God bless this Commonwealth of Virginia. And God bless these United States of America. Thank you so much.
We have a couple of candidates that are going to have a chance to speak. And I apologize, Philip. It's tough going after that. I really, I tried not to do that myself. No, I'm not putting him at the front. No way. Yeah, black preacher, forget it. You cannot handle it. So Philip Hamilton is going to speak to you. He's running.
Philip, can I say something? I forgot. My website is Benjamin4Congress.com. I always forget that. Thank you, Philip.
Okay.
Let's hear it from the website.
So Philip Hamilton is representing the Charlottesville area, and I'm going to let him speak a little bit. Very pro-gun. He was there helping fight Albemarle when they were passing their local gun control. He and I stood side by side as we fought that.
Thank you, Philip. Well, welcome, folks. You know, 2 years ago, I ran the 57th House of Delegates district in Charlottesville, and I was actually the first Republican to run in 16 years. I say that again, 16 years at that time. And it's time that we mobilize and we go on the front lines at these radically blue districts in Virginia. Now this time I'm running for Virginia Senate in the 11th. So I'll be running against Deeds or Delegate Sally Hudson, whoever wins the Democratic primary later this year. But that consists of Nelson County, Amherst County, Almore County, Charlottesville City, and the western side of Louisa County. Now, I believe in constitutional carry. I'm a descendant of George Mason IV on my mother's side of the family. And if we look back at the founding of our nation, George Mason was part of the Virginia Declaration of Rights. He drafted that document that the First Amendment is based off of. Now, we have the Second Amendment. It wasn't the 10th Amendment of the Bill of Rights. It was the second, one of the most important ones that we have. And Patrick Henry, he would not support the Constitution unless we had a Bill of Rights.
The same man who gave me the give me liberty or give me death speech, he would not support the Constitution without the Bill of Rights. And think about it. New York, back at the time, was waiting on the sidelines. They weren't going to vote to ratify the Constitution until they saw what Virginia was going to do. So there was many debates between James Madison and Patrick Henry. But once James Madison agreed to the Bill of Rights, then Patrick Henry threw his hat in the ring and said, we're going to ratify this Constitution. But over 200 years onwards, we have a government that doesn't respect the Second Amendment. We have people who are advocating for gun control. What is the strongest deterrent against a socialist, Marxist, tyrannical government? The Second Amendment. Look at what's happening in China. Look at what's happening in other countries that don't have a Second Amendment. Look at the COVID restrictions that they're having. There were riots in China because they had people in an apartment complex and they had a fire and several of them died. I think it was 50 plus people who died. But it's because they didn't have guns to stand up to the communist regime of China. We would never allow what happened in China to happen here in America. And that's why this fight is so essential. We must have constitutional carry here in Virginia. And we need to have a majority in the Virginia Senate so that way we can pass this. Now, thank God we have a majority in the House of Delegates, but there is work to be done. And that's why I'm taking the fight to the Virginia Senate. You can find me on Facebook for Hamilton for Senate. You can email me at hamiltonforvasenate@gmail.com. And one last thing I want to mention too is that I was at the Lee Jackson Day celebration last weekend in Lexington. Now there's a petition for the New Market battlefield. Now due to quote unquote COVID restrictions, they said, well, we can't have reenactments anymore. And this is of Union and Confederate soldiers who are honoring veterans. Come to me and sign this petition. Let's reopen reenactments that has been going on since 1914. This is the oldest reenactment site in the country, and it's absolutely ridiculous that they have shut it down. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, briefly, we have Lance Allen.
Woo! There he is. Hey, y'all all right? Everybody awake? Woo! Listen, I tried to get a sticker, but it's too big. Wouldn't fit. Hey, listen, my name is Lance Allen. I'm running for State Senate in District 1. If you're not first, you're last, for those who like a good Ricky Bobby reference. Hey, listen, a couple of things I want to say to everyone. I ran for lieutenant governor last year, and the biggest compliment that I got when I came out today was people that I didn't recognize who recognized me for showing up, right? Where are our statewide candidates now? They were good to jump on TV. They were good to get out in front of us when they wanted our 2A vote, right? When they wanted the nomination. But where are they today? Where are your VCDL? Where are your 2A legislators wearing your buttons and your stickers? They're too busy. They're inside their offices hiding, right? Here's what I'm trying to tell you. The Democrats are the excuse that we use time after time for the things that we cannot get done. Republicans, rhinos, hide behind that time after time. Oh, we can't submit that bill because the Democrats will kill it. Oh, we can't do this because the Democrats will kill it. Phil is absolutely right. We took back 3 statewide offices and we took back the House of Delegates. And then what happened? Every Republican that was worth a damn hid behind the fact that the Democrats control the Senate. And I don't care, because if you want to do the right thing, you do it over and over and over and over, no matter what. And you show up time after time after time. Is it cold? Yeah. Did they shut the square down? Yeah. Does it matter? No. Our rights are our rights, and they were God-given, and they are important. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You've got a very important election coming up. You've got the House of Delegates, and you got the State Senate. Don't give them any more excuses to hide behind the Democrats. Start voting Republican. Get out and help them now. The last thing that I want to tell you is you use Lobby Day and you use every day that God gives you to fight for your God-given rights, and you hold their feet to the fire. When someone like Jason Miyares walks in a crowd of VCDL members, you say you were there at Lobby Day. Why aren't we holding you accountable? What are you doing? That's what you do. When you see Glenn Youngkin walk out of the governor's mansion, you don't pat yourself on the back because you got a Republican governor. You go, what have you done for me? Because I'm the one who pays your check. That's what you do. You show up every day. All right, the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that we get some signs up. I want to turn this one around, and we're going to get the biggest two-way VCDL Lobby Day picture that we've ever taken, and I want it right here, and I want Phil right in the middle of it. You guys do that for me. Hold up your signs, and let's get some pictures.
Do this one. We'll still do ours.
You guys get in, please.
Excuse me, sorry.
Philip, get behind the sign so they don't have to hold it so high. We don't want to block people. I will raise the bow. Well, no, just let them duck under and around it. Go around behind it and let them put it down ground level. A little lower. We're still gonna. But this looks pretty, guys. This looks real pretty. All right, on three, everybody say 2A. 1, 2, 3. 2A! Thank you, everybody. All right, as you were. Thanks, everybody. That's District 1 in Winchester, Clark, Frederick County, in the Northwestern. You can find me at lanceforva.com or Lance Allen for VA on Facebook. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Phil.
Okay, we have one speaker. He's the one that led the charge in Winchester, where we had a victory.
Hey, guys, hold up. We're not done. We got another speaker, and it's important that you hear it. Get up on the hill if you can. The signs are yours. The flags are yours. Please, please do not make me take them back home. Get up on the hill. We got to clear them off. We only got a minute. Let's get this thing finished. Let's put it to bed right.
I was told I had 3 minutes to speak. Now I hear I've got a minute to speak. But it is important. Because you've heard today about the importance of lobbying. You've heard how important it is to show up and talk to politicians. But there's another component that people forget, and that is the court. You need to remember what the courts have done and what they're going to do. Because gun owners breathed a massive sigh of relief with the Supreme Court's decision this past year.
Okay, so
when Broome was decided.
So for the last hour or so, I've been live streaming here. This is kind of on the Capitol Square where guns are not allowed. After having filmed the Boogaloo group, which was sort of outside, and they stuck outside because they had the arms, and so they couldn't come here. I just spoke very briefly to Shafari from Black Lives Matter 757, who says that they're going to be doing a march as well. So I'm going to cut the live stream now because I'll probably start a new live stream when that one begins. So thanks everyone for watching.